Hi, Karen. I'm Shannon. Happy holidays. So, thank you for coming in today. Coming in is the first step.
The first step towards what? I'm fine.
We can get to that later. So, what brought you in today?
My family, since they hate me.
Tell me how that makes you feel.
They say I have a problem with alcohol, but I don't really drink that much. I just drink to celebrate like a normal person.
So,
it's annoying.
Yeah, when do you think it's appropriate to celebrate?
Usually the things that I celebrate, when I get out of work, if I go to the gym, I've had a busy day with meetings, and my favorite sports team wins. Go Yankees.
I'm a Mets person, but what's your family said about all this celebrating?
They say that it's not normal to drink that often, but I think it's totally fine if there's a good reason. Do you think that's weird?
Well, I don't like to use weird, but how many drinks do you have a week?
Well, usually I get drinks on Mondays with Kelly and Mark, and then I go to the gym on Tuesday and Thursday, and I love to go to every home game at the Yankee Stadium, and I usually drink at the game. I get slammed at the office on Wednesday, and everyone drinks on the weekend, so I guess I drink like 6 or 7 days a week, and geez, I don't know how much I drink when I'm out. Who keeps count?
Believe me, I love to celebrate too, but do you feel like drinking is an important aspect to celebrating?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a part of celebrations.
Do you have any activities that you like to do that don't require drinking?
Well, there's, I don't think so.
So, from what I'm gathering, it seems as though you engage solely in activities that involve drinking. Can you think of anything you'd be interested in that doesn't involve drinking?
Well, I guess I never really thought of that as an option. My family says that I get out of control sometimes. And yeah, I kind of get embarrassed when I drink. I ended up a little bit too drunk on Thanksgiving this year, and I ended up puking on the turkey. I guess I don't want to upset them when I do stuff like that. I feel like I'm letting them down some way. I really don't want to ruin the holiday for my family.
So what I'm hearing is that your family is very important to you?
Yeah, my nieces and nephews are the cutest. I'm really close with my brother, and I've never really been asked about my drinking this much. I guess after talking about it, I may understand where my family's coming from.
Yeah, that's a great observation. It appears as though your family is concerned about how your actions are affecting you and the people around you. Do you agree?
Yeah, they do. I understand they felt the need to reach out to you. I never really noticed how I was affecting myself and the people around me, but now I guess saying it out loud, their opinions don't seem misdirected or harsh. I know they love me and they want the best for me.
Yeah, great observation. You show really great insight as to why your family brought you here. Let's start talking about the next steps so we can get you to a healthy lifestyle. What are some alternatives that you can do during the holidays coming up?
Well, my grandfather is a recovering alcoholic, and he brings his own eggnog and drinks sparkling cider on New Year's, and of course the kids don't drink.
That's a great idea, Karen. Having a support system and someone who you can relate to is a great thing to have as you begin your journey into a healthier life. I want to help you create a lifestyle that works for you while also ensuring that it is healthy emotionally, mentally, and physically. This is your life, so I want to know what your goals are.
I want to cut out drinking. I want to be able to engage in social events without feeling the need to drink. I also want my family to be proud of me, of course. They mean so much to me. I know that if I can make these changes, they'll be proud of me.
Those are great goals, Karen, and I think they're achievable.
But do you think I'll actually be able to do this?
I believe that you can do this. It comes from you. It isn't going to be easy, but working together and having a support system will turn out to be immensely beneficial on your journey to become sober.
So on this Christmas Eve, I can just have one glass of wine with the family and just stick to that?
Yeah, that's a great goal. I can write down some ideas for drink alternatives on a sheet of paper so that you can have some options.
If that goes well, I'll do the same for Christmas Day. Should my first goal to be bring my own drinks to the party?
Yeah, great idea. Slow and steady wins the race.
The client was brought in by her family and does not think she has a problem. She is in denial, but the nurse empowers the patient by encouraging her for coming in. The patient is in the pre-contemplation phase, and the goal of the conversation was to get her to the contemplation phase. The nurse asks important questions regarding her motivation for drinking and how often she drinks. Open-ended questions are asked in order to get the client to speak about her habits. After speaking about her drinking habits, she begins to realize how much she actually drinks and begins to have some concern. She starts to realize how her family is being affected and that she does not want to let them down.
The nurse continues to empower the client by encouraging her self-awareness and insight to her family's best interests. Towards the end of the interview, she acknowledges that she has a problem and begins discussing how to move forward with a plan of action. They begin talking about alternatives to help the client avoid drinking alcohol during the upcoming holidays. They identify the patient support system, and the nurse tells the patient that they are determined to help her create a plan of action to ensure a healthier lifestyle. The nurse offers reassurance and empowerment to the client by telling her that they believe in her. The goal for the client is to only have one drink at Christmas Eve and to bring her own drinks to parties.
Happy New Year's, Karen. So happy to see you back.
Well, I don't think you'll be happy with me after you hear what I did on New Year's.
Why do you say that?
Well, I went to my sister's house on New Year's Eve and I brought 2 bottles of sparkling cider.
Okay, that's great that you brought your own drinks to the party to start.
Next thing I know, my dumb sister invites my ex, Stefano. And we had a really bad breakup. Like a Ross and Rachel, we were on a break kind of breakup. It was time to abandon the cider, and next thing I know, I was 3 bottles of champagne in.
I'm sorry to hear about your breakup. They can be tough and cause people to cope in really unhealthy ways.
I was so good on Christmas, and then frickin' Stefano happened.
Well, I'm glad that Christmas went well. What do you think caused the relapse?
Well, my ex coming to the party did not help. But other things were going on too. My sister's so mad at me for what happened on Thanksgiving, and work has been harder since I stopped drinking. My grandfather also had to leave early on New Year's Eve due to a stomach bug, and I didn't have him there to ground me. The whole party was just disappointing, and I'm really frustrated.
Well, it's completely normal to feel that way. How do you feel now that some time has passed for you to reflect? What kind of things would you rather do instead?
Well, I still feel really defeated, and I don't even want to try anymore. I know I shouldn't have drank, but I just feel helpless.
Okay. What I'm hearing is that you wish that things went differently, but you're still hopeful in making your initial goals a reality. Let's try to come up with some coping mechanisms for you to do when you feel tempted to drink. I want you to keep in mind that it's completely normal to feel defeated and to remember that Christmas went well and to be proud of yourself.
That's true, and maybe I can avoid Stefano if I see him somewhere. But as for work, I'm really at a loss of what to do. I don't know what kind of coping skills I should use.
Well, as for work, it will be stressful, but you can try modifying your schedule to have less on your plate and maybe add exercise or another fun alcohol-free activity to release some stress. What do you think about that?
I could probably start work tasks a little earlier in the morning so I'm not so stressed at the end of the day. Planning my week in advance would really be helpful.
Great, that sounds great. Work can be stressful for anyone, but prioritizing what needs to be done can help you in overall stress management. Let's talk about family parties and get-togethers. What can you do to cope without your grandfather present for the entirety of these events?
Well, I guess I just really need to start relying on myself and realize that I'm the main driver of my actions. And of course, I can reach out to my grandfather in hard times, but I'm worried because he lives in Florida half the year.
Right. So those are all fantastic steps to take, and I agree that they'll all help you in the long run. As for your grandfather, he's definitely a great resource, but he might be hard to be in constant contact with because of the distance. There are support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, where you can find a sponsor who can be that support system for you when your grandfather isn't present.
Oh wow, I've never heard of AA before. I think I'd be willing to go.
Perfect. I believe it'll be a good resource for you and your sobriety. They have meetings daily at flexible times, and that can work for your schedule.
Okay.
All right, so in summary, we made some great progress on Christmas, but had some difficulty on New Year's. Because of your past success, you should be confident in your ability to get back on track. You're so capable of maintaining the change and goals you set up.
Yeah, thanks. I want to do better for Valentine's Day, especially. It's one of my worst holidays. I just really miss Stefano.
I want to applaud you for your insight on how the holidays are a challenging time for you. Now we can preemptively take action before the holiday comes up. What do you think that you could do before Valentine's Day?
Maybe I could not go to my coworker's anti-Valentine's Day. There's so much wine there. instead I could go visit my brother and his kids. I could have dinner with his family.
Nice idea. You've come so far. You should be proud of your accomplishments in this area of your life. I'm confident that you have set yourself up for success with these goals. But if you don't meet the goals perfectly, you can still recognize that this journey is ongoing.
You've been really a great help to me. Thank you for connecting me with those support groups. Hey, maybe I'll meet another Stefano there.
She begins by the client being disappointed in herself. She tells the nurse that when she went to a New Year's party, she brought sparkling cider, which the nurse commends her for. However, she then states that her ex-boyfriend was at the party, which triggered her to drink alcohol. She says that she did well and did not drink on Christmas. The nurse acknowledges her success and inquires with open-ended questions as to what may have caused the relapse. The client mentions personal problems with her sister, stress at work, and her grandfather not being there to keep her grounded.
She is disappointed in herself and feels lost on what to do next. The nurse offers advice and coping mechanisms to try to help the client avoid stressful situations that trigger her to drink. The client acknowledges that she is in control of her actions, and the nurse tells her to consider meeting with groups such as AA for support. The client states that she is willing to try it, and the nurse continues to support her in trying to make a change. She identifies a goal of wanting to stay alcohol-free on Valentine's Day. The nurse tells her to be proud of her accomplishments and that she is doing a good job working towards meeting her goals.